Hello and welcome back for another episode of Financial Freedom by 40. In this week's episode, we are continuing our journey up the Ningaloo Coast. Ningaloo is one of the areas that we've had on our Aussie bucket list for some time, and we were super excited to make it to this part of the world. The Ningaloo is relatively remote and some of the roads to get in here can be fairly challenging, so we had a couple of interesting moments in this week's episode just trying to get to the places that we wanted to camp. We have, however, been super lucky to visit some really amazing places and to have some amazing experiences, including loads of time swimming with beautiful sea turtles at camps like Osprey Bay and some of the other famous campgrounds along the Ningaloo Coast. In this week's episode, we visit North Lefroy camp, and then we make our way a little bit further north to the super famous Winderabandi before stopping in at Osprey Bay, which is absolutely amazing. So it's moving day again. We're making our way up to North Lefroy camp from South Lefroy camp. Just stopped here. There is a water fill, not potable water, but water fill point here at Point Billy. There's a camp just near here, so we're just getting some extra water for doing our dishes and washing and that kind of thing, and saving the water in the tanks for drinking water. Yeah. So this will take us a little bit, and then we'll continue along this hideous road. Doesn't look so bad here, but you'll see on the video how bad it gets in some points onto North Lefroy camp, which is apparently beautiful. It's quite hard to capture how bad some of these roads are with the GoPro. There are a couple of really dicey parts on the Yardie Creek Road, which is the main road that heads between Yardie Creek and South Lefroy campground. This one here is actually the access road into the North Lefroy camp. And overall, this is actually a pretty good access road. We didn't have too much trouble getting into the campground itself. It's actually the campsites that are a little bit trickier here because the whole campground is built into a sand dune. So the access road's pretty hard, but the site that we had was site 14, and that was super soft. As you'll see in just a minute, we had a couple of little troubles getting into the site. Oh, this is so nerve-wracking. As we arrived at this campground, the camp host had said to us that there were a number of routes that could get us to our site. So we went down and had a look, and we chose this one first off as we thought it would be the easiest route in with the hardest sand access. We found that it was a pretty tight turn to get in and around this corner with such a large van, but Ryan gave it a go, and then we decided that we would give another access road a try, as it was a little bit less of a steep turn with the caravan on. Right, so this is super nerve-wracking. It's too tight for us to turn into our campground, so Ryan's going to try and reverse back and come through this one, which should take us up to our one. See how we go. It's all very stressful. The YouTubers all make it look super easy, navigating big vans into tight places, but I can tell you right now it's not easy, and I'm not even driving. It's very hot and very nerve-wracking watching your caravan go on all horrible angles and all sorts to try and get it into a parking spot. Are you in low range? Right. We're bogged. Just what you want to be doing in 40 degrees, eh love?
What's that?
Just what you want to be doing in 40 degrees.
Oh man, I tell you. Should be coming to sites a lot earlier in the day.
Okay, first step is out of there. Now what?
Did I make that look easy?
No, my heart's going duff 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 duff. Man, I think I need to put that bottle of wine back in the fridge.
Okay.
I'm like shaking. My hands are shaking.
Right.
Well done. Step one. Now what?
Now we need a reef step.
We've learned that navigating into sites like these can be a bit of a balancing act. You've got to turn everything on the right angles, so come the right angle into the site. You've got to have your tyre pressures right, so not too low so that when you turn these tight angles you might roll a tyre off your wheel rims, but also not so high that you end up getting bogged in the sand. So in a situation like this, I think we came in here with our tyre pressures on 25, and then we ended up having to lower them a bit more to get through the really soft sand. In the end, we decided to go back to the original entrance point and take a bit more of a wide swing around. It means that the van ends up going on some horrible angles, and at times I feel like I need to close my eyes because it looks like it could go all the way over.
Fast, good. Fingers crossed, the corner's taken out. You did it, well done. Step one. Ay, 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 this is not good for your nerves. Now can we not get bogged again? See how it goes. Good. Oh, got the shakes. Can't hold the camera steady. Watch the bush. The bush on the other side. Okay, out of that bit now. Let's try again. Here we go, take, I don't know, I've lost count. Is it 3? Nope. Stuck.
After about an hour and a half of trying to navigate the van into the perfect spot within our site, we decided that right where we were here was about right for us. The temperatures got up to about 45 degrees while we were out here digging in the sand. The sand was hot, we were hot and sweaty, and we decided that it was time just to give it a day. Both Ryan and I were feeling a little wobbly on our pins and in desperate need of some lunch by the time we got here. What we had thought would be about a half an hour or so journey through from the South Lefroy camp ended up taking altogether about 2 hours, and we were shattered.
We did it.
Oh, yeah.
I put 2 in the fridge before we left, but they're probably not cold enough yet. Do you have any in your thing yet?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good.
Hey.
Well,
2 o'clock. That took us 2 hours
2 hours.
to get into the campground.
We thought, oh, that's just like 15 minutes down the road. Probably the
Camping, eh?
hour and a half of it was probably spent just here.
Yeah. Beach camp.
Yeah, well, we're in.
We're in.
And let's hope we don't have to move.
Well, we're not moving. We're not moving until we're going out, and that's the next mission. Is how do we get out of here?
Well, that'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. I need some lunch.
Yeah, let's do it.
After all of our efforts trying to get into the site, we decided it was time for a quiet afternoon. We went pretty quickly down to the water and took a nice refreshing dip to cool off from that 45-degree heat. After that, we took a stroll along the beach to have a look at the campground, and then it was time for dinner and a sunset.
What are you making us, Dave?
I'm making us some tacos.
Tacos or nachos?
These tacos.
It says tacos, but we're making nachos. And where are we cooking?
Outside.
Outside where though?
The beach.
Right by there. Right by the beach.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Baby's kitchen is in the sand. In the sand dune.
The following day, we decided to take a drive through to our next camping spot, which is Winderabandi. We were meant to have 4 nights at the North Lefroy camp, but we'd heard that Winderabandi was pretty spectacular. We'd also heard some rumours that the access track to our campsite was pretty soft, and we decided we'd better go and have a look before we committed to pulling the caravan down it. We just happened to choose one of the sites, which a lot of people have told us are primo sites, right down at the Winderabandi point. However, what that does mean is that you have to navigate the long and sandy access track all the way down to the soft sand at the point before you manage to camp up. After our efforts at the North Lefroy camp and our struggles to get into our site, we really didn't want to have a massive effort getting bogged multiple times along this road, and we decided we'd do a drive along it with just the car. So you can see here as the drone goes along, the access road goes all the way along through the sand dunes, and our campsite, we'll show you in a moment, was right down near that very point where the green ends. So we knew it was going to be a challenge, and taking the car down there was a really good decision. We did end up getting bogged just a little bit in the car, and we're not entirely confident that we would have been able to get the van through without a bit of drama.
We've come to check out Winderabandi campground today because this is where we're supposed to be staying next, and it's closed. This part of the beach is closed for camping at super high tides, but it's open when we're supposedly open when we're here in 3 days time. So this is where the campsites are. We're number 5, so just over there somewhere. We'll go have a look. So there's site number 5. Right. Number 5. And this is the beautiful view where you would be camping. But I don't think we're going to be camping here because the road in is hectic. And I'm not confident we can get our caravan through it. But maybe we can see if we can change to one of the campsites down the far end. Moment of truth. Can we get out of this campsite? So we've decided to move on to Winderabandi camp a little bit earlier. There's some availability there, and we went around there yesterday and it's a bit nicer. So we're going to try to get through this soft bit of sand here with the car and the caravan together. So wish us luck. We did it! Oh, what a relief! You did it, Dad! No worries! Woohoo!
No drama.
Yay! Thank goodness.
That was alright.
That was alright, yeah.
Sounds a lot cooler.
Yeah. Oh, that's a relief. That's a big relief. Didn't even get bogged.
No. Time to inflate.
Time to inflate. Off to Winderabandi. Can we make it into Winderabandi?
Yeah, I think it's pretty soft through the entrance way.
It's a bit bouncy. Come on, Bruiser, you could do it. You could do it.
What's the worst of it then?
Yeah, I think that's right. And now we're just about straight ahead, aren't we?
Yep.
Woohoo! Welcome to Winderabandi. So we made it to Winderabandi. And how is this for beachfront camping? You don't get much more beachfront than this.
Site 30.
Site 30 at Winderabandi. So we decided to give up on our site number 5, and this one was much easier to get into, and can't complain about the location either. Just stunning.
Site 30 was a great location, right near the boat ramp and easy to access from the main access road. We were just a few steps away from the beach, and at times the tide came almost right up to the caravan. If you can see our grey mat on the ground there, at one stage the tide was lapping over the corner of the mat. So pretty high tide still when we were there. So it was a good choice moving campgrounds to this particular location, and we were super lucky that one became available for the time that we wanted to be at Winderabandi, as these campsites can book out about 6 months in advance. Winderabandi has been one of our favourite camps on the Ningaloo Coast, and actually I'd say it's one of our favourite camps in all of Australia so far. You don't get much better than beachfront camping like this, and it is only $30 a night to stay here. The water looks a lot like any other sort of a tropical place like Fiji or one of those kind of places, so there's not many places that you can pay $30 a night to stay somewhere like this. There is a lot of wildlife here too, so we saw dolphins out on the paddleboard, some turtles swam by, sharks, rays, and the campers next to us even got to see some manta rays, probably only 50 or 100 meters out off the shore. So pretty amazing to be able to have experiences like this in beautiful places like this. And Oliver even got to celebrate his birthday here with a day of celebrating with friends that we made along the beachfront. Winderabandi super family friendly, and there were loads of other kids there, so he even got to have a proper birthday party with cake and piñata and friends to play with on the beach, as well as some donuting with some new friends we made who had a boat there. So fantastic day for the kids, and definitely one for the memory banks.
What is this?
You learned to read by the time you're 12.
Shut up! Daryl, thank you. Now then I'll open this first. Oh, you got Uno Flip? Oh, this is a good game. What? This is a good game.
Isn't?
It is
Oh, it
a good
is.
game. We have it at school.
Open the biggest one next.
No,
Open
big one last.
this one. Oh, skimmable and
That must have been a big surprise.
yeah, it
You
was.
weren't
Especially when I
expecting
saw
those.
them in the car. I'll open this one now. I think this one closed. Yeah, it is.
It's a Minecraft check.
Wait, it is.
You might not need that just yet.
You think?
What is that?
It's a Minecraft hoodie. What's this? Come on, get a hoodie. Oh, and a PlayStation shirt. That's cool. Now then, where's the last one? Oh no, this is one. Yeah, this is Lego.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's chess.
That's a good one.
Classic chess. Folding board. Okay, cool. So that's travel edition. Did you got me the whole entire series?
Is that the whole entire series?
That is the whole entire series.
You can stop waking us up so early now.
Happy birthday, Ollie.
Thank you. Add
heavy,
this to
isn't
my
it?
collection.
You're lucky that got past the weight, please.
Oh, I didn't think you'd get me all these. But thanks, this is heavy.
So here we are out at Winderabandi Point. We've got the paddle boards in. It's a nice calm day, so we're going to paddle up. So we would have been camping in there about where the ute is over there, but we're way back down the beach. I don't know if I can look back that way. We're back down that way. Hi Zaves. Zaves is paddling us for a minute, and we thought we'd come have a look down here. Apparently the reef's a bit closer, so if it's not too windy around the corner we might paddle out a little bit and see if we can see some corals. And there were manta rays out here yesterday, some other people saw, so fingers crossed. You never know your luck. What do you reckon? Look good?
Cold, did you say?
Yeah, down the bottom.
Doesn't feel too cold. I've got my foot in there, it feels pretty warm. How's the colour of the water though?
The first half a metre is warm. Heaps of fish.
You gonna jump in, Zaves? Dad's in.
There's heaps of fish.
And there's the camp. Man, what a day.
Real bleaching, eh?
Yeah? What, you see a sea snake, Zaves? Xavier says he can see a sea snake.
Look at the school of fish here. Get in the water. Shallow it.
We're not too sure if what Xavier spotted was actually a sea snake, or maybe it was just an eel, as we have seen a few of them when we've been out and about snorkeling. This was certainly one of the healthier parts of the reef that we have seen while we've been out snorkeling. Unfortunately, a lot of the reef areas have been badly affected by coral bleaching, which is pretty sad to see, but this part was pretty cool. Have a look at what we got to see snorkeling off the Winderabandi point. We've heard it can get pretty windy along this Ningaloo Coast, but we've been so fortunate that while we've been here, the weather has been absolutely stunning. We've had a couple of windy days, but this particular day was absolutely glassy, and it was perfect for being able to paddleboard out and see the clear waters off the Winderabandi point. If you're going to stay at Winderabandi, it's definitely worth coming out to this point as the water is much clearer than further in. As far as we could tell, the Winderabandi point was also the best place to access corals for snorkeling if you don't have a boat when you're staying at Winderabandi. Although we probably wouldn't recommend trying to snorkel in this area if you don't have a kayak or paddleboard with you, as a lot of boats do go through there and they may struggle to see you if you were just snorkeling in the water. The following day, Ryan went out for another spot of paddleboarding. It wasn't quite as calm this particular day, it was a little bit windier, but he did spot some dolphin fins out in the bay and decided to go and have a closer look. Here's what he got to see. After 5 amazing nights at Winderabandi, it was time for us to head north and explore some of the other campgrounds in the Cape Range National Park. In the end, we actually decided to cancel our last night at Winderabandi to head back to Exmouth and get some extra water and also to enjoy a night on the air conditioning. Now, you might be wondering why, with all of our solar panels and our off-grid caravan, we aren't managing to use our air conditioning a little bit more often. Well, it's because the air conditioning is a major power suck, and although we have a really fantastic energy system in our caravan that serves us really well, no energy system I don't think is quite strong enough to run your air conditioning full time through the night when you are battling temperatures in the range of 35 to 45 degrees. And all of us just felt like we needed a bit of a break from the heat. There has been a lot of hot days and even hot nights while we have been on the Ningaloo Coast, and just about everybody we have spoken to has done a few nights where they have run into the nearest town and booked into a campground to plug into the 240 volt power and get that air conditioning relief for a day or two. So we hit the road and started our journey north along the Yardie Creek Road, but before we did, we had a little bit of a hiccup getting out of our campsite. The hot weather had made the track get super soft and we managed to get bogged once again.
We're trying to leave Winderabandi. We're already bogged, just trying to get out of our sight, so yikes. Time to leave Winderabandi. De-bogged once already. Let's see if we can make it out the exit without getting bogged again.
Really bumpy. Bit of a difference when you're light.
Yeah, it does feel a lot lighter, doesn't it?
That's why.
Shish! Made it through. Farewell Winderabandi. It's hot.
As well as being a bit bumpy, this road is relatively narrow and we managed to add a few extra pinstripes to the van as we made our way back to Yardie Creek.
Right, coming back the other side of Yardie Creek. Here we go. Oh, no worries. Easy peasy. Straight through. Good job, Bruiser. Woohoo! We've just arrived at the famous Osprey Bay, which is on the Ningaloo Coast, and it's one of the really super popular camps. So we've got 4 nights here, and we're just going to go and have a quick look at the beach. We're wanting to do some snorkeling, so let's have a look.
Oh wow!
Wow, look at that, Ollie. What do you reckon?
It's not what you call a sandy beach most of it, but
Oh, there's a sandy beach there.
yes, it's sand over here. After we've had
Look at the colour of the water.
yeah, we're definitely going for a swim after lunch.
That looks amazing.
Agreed.
Beautiful.
And I reckon there's probably stuff here as well, so there's been hours in the water.
I'd say so. There's quite a bit of reef there. Awesome.
Osprey Bay has been another one of our favourite camps on our lap of Australia so far, and definitely one of the favourites on the Ningaloo Coast. There is a lot of wildlife here, and there are tons and tons of turtles, which was totally amazing. One of the best parts of staying here was knowing that every time you went for a snorkel, you would come face to face with another turtle friend. Where we're going to leave you for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in again to our latest episode. We hope you enjoyed coming along on the journey with us as we travel along the Ningaloo Coast. Our time in the Ningaloo is coming close to ending, but hopefully in our next week's episode we'll be able to share with you the time that we get to spend with the whale sharks. We're about to head out on a whale shark cruise tomorrow, and we are really hoping that we get to meet these giant whale sharks that live on the Ningaloo Coast at this time of year. We've heard that swimming with the whale sharks can be a life-changing experience and is certainly something that you'll never forget. So we are crossing fingers and toes that this is something we get to experience. To follow along the journey with us on social media, you can find us at Financial Freedom by 40 on Facebook and Instagram.